Welcome, beloved Aries, both the newly curious and the seasoned cosmic warriors, to Zodiac Talks Tarot, a channel where astrology gets a little deeper, a little wiser, and occasionally stops to laugh at itself, because let's be honest, even Mars needs a sense of humor sometimes. If you've found yourself here today, it's not by accident. Whether you're just dipping your fiery toes into the zodiac or you've been decoding star charts longer than your ex held a job, you're in the right place. And if you have Aries rising, moon, or you've just got that unmistakable ready to fight a parking meter energy, sit down, take a breath, yes, even you, and listen closely. This Cancer new moon isn't just another lunar moment. It's a cosmic invitation, a sacred ping from the universe asking you to recalibrate your heart, and for Aries, that means putting down the sword for a second and picking up the mirror. This new moon on June 25th isn't playing around. It's what astrologers call a manifestation portal, and not the Pinterest kind. It's the real deal, one that activates not just your intentions, but the deepest, often neglected parts of your emotional world. And yes, I hear your Aries soul whispering, can we skip to the soulmate part? The short answer is, maybe. But the longer, wiser answer is, not before you pause, reflect, and feel. You see, Aries is the sign of action, of initiation, of why wait when I can just bulldoze it. But Cancer is water, it teaches you to soften, to listen, to feel the tremors in your heart before leaping into battle. This tension isn't punishment. It's balance. It's you meeting yourself halfway. And let's talk about this cosmic lineup, Sun, Moon, and Jupiter in a triple alignment, a configuration that happens once every 12 years. That's not astrology fluff, that's a spiritual jackpot. It's what I like to call the Oprah effect, you get healing, you get clarity, and you get a soulmate. But here's the catch. If you've been waking up at 3 a.m., drenched in questions and wondering why your dreams feel like cryptic Morse code messages, that's not caffeine withdrawal. That's your soul's alarm clock, and your ancestors are on the other end of the line. They're not just sending love, they're sending instructions. And Aries, I know your emotional patience sometimes expires after 90 seconds, but hear this, the waves of sadness, the surge of old shame, the mysterious desire to cry while watching that one insurance commercial? They're not random. They're echoes from within, signals that your emotional blueprint is being rewritten. You're not falling apart. You're being rewired. This isn't the universe trolling you. It's the universe preparing you, because your soulmate, believe it or not, might already be in your orbit. The question is, can you actually recognize them? Or are you still swiping left on your own healing? This is your moment, Aries. You are a chosen one, not just because it sounds epic, though it does, but because you're being asked to lead with courage in the most vulnerable space of all, the heart. So welcome. Get comfortable. Laugh a little. Cry a little if you must. But above all, stay open. The Cancer new moon is calling, and this time, it's not asking you to fight. It's asking you to feel. Let's talk about what's really going on, Aries. And before you roll your eyes and sprint into the next adrenaline-fueled project, just breathe for a moment. You've entered what I lovingly call soul reboot mode. This isn't your average emotional spring cleaning, where you toss out an ex's hoodie and pretend you're fine. No. This is deep. This is structural. We're talking full-on blueprint rewriting. Your soul's been pulling late-night overtime, running system updates you didn't authorize but absolutely need. You may have noticed 111, 333, déjà vu moments, or strangers who somehow feel like ex-lovers from a parallel universe. You're not losing it. You're aligning. Your inner GPS isn't malfunctioning, it's recalibrating. Destination? Emotional truth. Spiritual congruence. Soul-level alignment. In Buddhist terms, this is the moment where your karma stops whispering and starts knocking, loudly. Now, before you go manifesting your soulmate under this Cancer new moon with reckless optimism and a Pinterest board, let's address Saturn. Yes, that's Saturn. The celestial equivalent of a personal trainer who throws out your comfort snacks and makes you journal about it. Saturn is currently squaring off with this new moon like a cosmic drill sergeant with a clipboard, asking the tough questions. Do you really want divine union? Or do you just want someone hot with great memes and zero accountability? Because let's be honest, Aries, you've dated a few red flags and called it a parade. This isn't just a roadblock. It's a rite of passage. And while you're being spiritually upgraded, Saturn is here to make sure you've deleted old code like chasing emotionally unavailable people, mistaking chaos for passion, or thinking being busy equals being fulfilled. And just to turn up the volume on this already transformative moment, we've got Jupiter Kazimi, a once-in-12-year cosmic blessing where Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance, sits directly in the heart of the Sunday. Think of it as the universe handing you a golden USB stick loaded with miracles. If you're one of the chosen ones, this is your download window. Don't miss it while doom scrolling or binge watching your karmic patterns. And here's where it gets intimate. Cancer rules the heart chakra. Jupiter and Neptune are joining forces, not to break your heart, but to update its software. Old code, fear of rejection, being ghosted, that inexplicable emotional hangover from prom night, it's all coming up. Not to torment you, but to be purged. You're not just learning how to love again, you're being rewired to receive it, to let it in, without bracing for impact. And Aries, let me say this with love, you can't outmuscle your way through emotional healing. This process can't be rushed with caffeine and determination. Resisting it is like yelling at a thunderstorm to stop raining, noble in spirit, but hilariously ineffective. Trust the current. Lean in. Let your heart be rewritten not as a fortress, but as a lighthouse. Because what's coming for you isn't just romance. It's resonance. And it starts with surrender. Let's set the scene, Aries. You've recently found yourself obsessively repotting succulents, signing up for a pottery class despite having the hand-eye coordination of a caffeinated goat, and somehow getting really into Mongolian throat singing. First of all, respect. But second of all, no, it's not a midlife crisis or a sudden spike in creative ADHD. This is what I call soulmate compass activation. Your soul, in all its fiery wisdom, is quietly, or loudly, in your case, recalibrating to the frequency of someone whose spirit already knows yours. It's not cheesy rom-com stuff, it's quantum entanglement. Real. Sacred. And often hilariously inconvenient. The universe isn't just throwing you breadcrumbs, it's steering you with strange hobbies and unexpected passions, gently nudging you toward alignment with your soulmate's energetic field. Trust it. Even if your Spotify is suddenly 70% throat singing and 30% Tibetan bells. And let's talk about those 3 to 4 a.m. wake-up calls. You know the ones. No reason. No alarm. Just eyes wide open, heart racing, and a strange sense that something, or someone, is trying to reach you. That's not poor sleep hygiene, Aries. That's your ancestors punching the cosmic time clock. This is the witching hour, the sacred space between realms, where messages are passed not through texts but through symbols, sensations, and yes, dreams. That oddly vivid image of a hawk or your grandmother handing you a key in a dream. That's not your brain on leftover pizza. That's ancestral data. Protective wisdom. And sometimes, blunt advice like, please, for the love of Saturn, stop texting your ex. Aries, in the year of triumph 2025, your rise is deeply rooted in where you come from. Honor your lineage, even if your family tree is a little let's say spiritually eccentric. Now let's get real about your body. Feeling off? Craving macaroni and cheese like it's a religious experience? Can't stop eating foods that remind you of your childhood? That's not regression, that's energetic anchoring. Cancer rules the stomach, and with all this emotional recalibration, your digestion is doing some heavy lifting. Some of you are experiencing tingles, eye pressure, heart flutters, or random bursts of exhaustion. This isn't malfunction, it's a tuning process. Your body is aligning to a frequency where soulmate recognition becomes cellular. And yes, you might cry while eating mashed potatoes. That's sacred, too. Finally, we've got Saturn and Neptune acting as your cosmic referees. Saturn, ever the stern life coach, is asking, have you truly learned to love yourself without performing for approval? Neptune, meanwhile, is more like your dreamy therapist saying, are you seeing the truth, or just casting projections in emotional IMAX? This isn't just spiritual fluff, it's advanced coursework for the chosen ones. You don't get to summon divine union with half-baked emotional clarity. Soulmate magic requires maturity, discernment, and, dare I say it, a little humility. Sorry, Aries. Being cute isn't a shortcut through this part of the syllabus. But don't worry, your fire is the light guiding you home. Alright, Aries. Let's talk. I know rituals might make you cringe a little, anything that sounds too slow, too soft, too non-confrontational, but trust me, what I'm about to walk you through isn't woo-woo fluff. This is spiritual strategy. Think of it as cosmic martial arts for the soul. And in this case, we're preparing you for the ultimate showdown, not with your enemies, not with your ex, although tempting, but with your own readiness to meet the love you were designed to grow with. The Cancer new moon is a potent portal, and yes, it's dripping with water energy. Cue the internal Aries eye roll, I can hear it from here. Water? Feelings? Ugh. But here's the truth, you, my fiery trailblazer, need that water. Not to extinguish you, but to balance you. To cool the heat just enough so you can listen to your own heartbeat and not just your next impulse. So here's your moon ritual, Aries style. 1 water ritual. Yes, you're fire. Yes, this is water. That's the point. Run a bath or soak your feet. Add sea salt, for purification, flowers, for softness, don't panic, and a drop of sandalwood or jasmine oil, because your aura needs a little cologne. You're not just bathing, you're cleansing your field, resetting your frequency. This is spiritual hydration. Do it with intention, not sarcasm. Or okay, sarcasm is fine, as long as you still show up. To write a letter to your future person. I know, this part might feel cringy. But listen, putting feelings into words is a form of magic. You're not writing a love confession to air, you're channeling clarity. What do you want in a connection? What do you need to feel safe, lit up, seen? Write it out. Be honest. Be raw. Don't focus on whether they like dogs or own a kayak. Go for depth, how you want to feel in their presence. And yes, it's okay to mention forward kisses and good playlists. 3. Clear your space. Physically. Energetically. Digitally. Especially digitally. Aries, if you've still got those texts from Chaotic but Hot saved in your phone, it's time. Delete. Archive. Release. The universe can't bring you your soulmate if you're still clinging to a romantic sitcom rerun. You need space to invite something new, something real. Clarity makes room for connection. 4. Speak it out loud. Your voice is power. Not just for arguments and last word wins, which you're excellent at, by the way. Speak your intentions into the air, not because the walls are listening, but because you are. What you declare becomes your directive. Own your desires. Say them like they're already unfolding. The universe responds to conviction. 5. Plant something. Yes, even you. Go buy a seed or a tiny herb and stick it in some soil. Water it. Name it if you want. Why? Because manifestation is physical and energetic. This plant is your symbol of growth, of tending, of rooted intention. Plus, it'll remind you daily that nurturing takes time. I know, patience is your least favorite virtue. That's why this works. Now let's move from ritual to reality. Around this Cancer new moon, your third eye is coming online like a psychic Wi-Fi router. Don't be surprised if you start getting flashes of insight, weirdly accurate gut feelings, or a sense that the universe is whispering to you through random song lyrics and license plates. That's not your imagination, that's perception sharpening. Pay attention. Synchronicity is the breadcrumb trail to your soulmate, and you don't want to scroll past it because you're distracted by someone's gym selfie. From June 24th to 26th, the cosmic conditions are nothing short of electric. Jupiter Kazimi, the new moon, and Mercury in Leo are combining to create a 72-hour window of accelerated manifestation. Think of it as a divine fast-forward button. Whatever you start now, it grows. Whatever you release, it stays gone. This is no time to wing it. Sorry, Aries, I know that's your signature move. Intentionality is the secret sauce. Set your sights on what matters, then move like you mean it. But here's the kicker, not everyone is ready for soulmate-level love. A real soul connection isn't romantic escapism. It's a mirror and a magnifier. It reveals your growth edges. If you're still ghosting yourself, numbing out, or projecting fantasies onto people who can't meet you, Saturn, the cosmic accountability coach, is going to put that soulmate connection on hold. Not out of cruelty, but to protect the integrity of what's meant for you. This moment is your invitation to prepare, not to push. So let's bust a myth. Your soulmate probably won't arrive riding a unicorn under a double rainbow. You might meet them in a grocery store, at the DMV, during a painfully dull Zoom webinar. And guess what? They may not match the mental Pinterest board you've been carrying around. But their energy, their vibe, it'll feel like peace. Like gravity. Like that one melody you forgot you loved until it played again in your heart. That's the signal. Not the sparkle, but the stillness. The resonance. And now we come to the final transmission, Aries. This new moon isn't asking you to wish for love. It's asking you to become it. Not in some Hallmark card, airy-fairy kind of way. But in the real, embodied, fierce kind of way that you understand. Build a home inside yourself. One that feels safe, soft, strong, and live with your own fire. Be your own shelter, your own warmth, your own truth. Because from that place of wholeness, your soulmate doesn't have to complete you. They'll simply join you. And that's where the real magic begins. So, my fiery friend, take this portal seriously, but don't forget to laugh, dance, and actually enjoy the process. Don't white-knuckle your growth. Let it unfold with a little grace and a lot of curiosity. The universe isn't here to punish you, it's here to partner with you. But you've got to meet it halfway. If this message lit you up, if you felt seen, or if you just enjoyed the ride, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Zodiac Talks Tarot. This is a space for the seekers, the feelers, and yes, even the fire starters like you. Until next time, tend your flame wisely, trust the signs, and remember, your soul already knows what to do.